Hey there, Papa's Posse. Don't forget about that QR code. Take you to my eBay, YouTube, and Instagram page. Welcome back to the channel there, Papa's Posse. Once again, it's time for Papa's Comic Books, Coffee, and more. Today, as you can see, we have Batman, Killing Time, number 6 of 6. This is by Tom King and Dave Marquez. Title of the story is Conclusion Time. This book was $4.99 back in 2022. Now, before we begin, don't forget, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, leave me a comment, and this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Let's see what we have here. On February 1 at 12 p.m. in Conway Gardens, a suburb north of Gotham, I answered my door. You're on time. Clock King, my friend. We're going to hold the world, then we're going to sell it for so much. When else would we be? 2.5 months later, on April 21, which is to say today at 5:28 a.m., I sit on a bench in front of the Parthenon in Athens, Greece. It is early and I am alone. I hear a noise and I look up. I see the bats fleeing the dying of the night. And I know I am no longer alone, for he is here with me. For a month and a half earlier, on March 2nd at 2:24 a.m., Riddler, Catwoman, and myself meet at a safe house I have recently acquired. You will come here afterward. You will inform the buyer who will meet you at this door and make the exchange. As is noted in the schedule, you will not need the whip. You can predict everything, CK? I have predicted nothing. I have noted a plan that, if executed, will result in success. Croc will distract you while threaten the Riddler will collect. You will meet with the Penguin. You will betray the Penguin. You will come here. You will collect the money. It runs but never walks, sings but never talks. Hands it has, got arms it has not. You will never see its head, just a face there instead. And what a pretty, pretty face it is, eh? On March 6, 9:47 p.m., I sit on my couch and say, ring. Ring? My phone rings. I pick up my phone. Yes. We're back in. We talk to agent blah, blah, blah. Meeting is set for tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. at the Moldorf Park at the gazebo. I understand. I hang up my phone. I pick up my phone. I call the Penguin to give him the location and time. The next day at 5:30 a.m., a government sniper prepares to kill Batman as he runs toward the gazebo. Take out Batman. He does not make his shot. This is the fourth and final sniper that I have killed this morning. Batman will enter the gazebo in 32 seconds, causing Catwoman to flee out the other side, holding the prize. Espinosa will inform Batman of her bomb, and he will take the air to stop it. At that same time, Catwoman will be violently interrupted in her retreat by the help. In 2 minutes, she will drop the prize. It will roll down a small hill. 2 minutes later, on March 7th, 5:32 a.m., I walk through a Moldorf Park 600 miles west of central Gotham. I have an eye in my hand. 1 minute later, 5:33 a.m., 80 feet above Moldorf Park, Major Ernie Coleman reaches for a bag. Drop the bomb. Inside the bag is a bomb secured by U.S. government to ensure that the eye is lost. It is not lost. It has been activated and will go off in 43 seconds. Major Coleman does not hesitate, though surely the blast will kill all those below and likely above. He moves efficiently and brings the bag to the side of the helicopter. He does not see Batman underneath it. 2 seconds later, Batman swings forward and kicks Ernie Coleman in the chest, sending both of them and the bomb back into the helicopter. Boom. 6 seconds later, Batman checks the bag and sees that the bomb inside has been activated. 8 seconds later, Batman knocks out the pilot of the helicopter. 19 seconds later, Batman has guided the helicopter to its highest possible altitude above Moldorf Park. Boom! 7 seconds later, Batman carried 2 agents descends to the earth as a bomb explodes above them. 4 seconds earlier, I mount the motorbike left by Batman in the west parking lot of Moldorf Park. The bike is still running and the motor is loud. However, I can still hear the nearby screams of the dying. I check my watch, needless but an old habit that I cherish. If I leave in 18 seconds, I will cross every green light between the park and the state highway. I wait. 18 seconds later, I leave. They are still screaming. 53 seconds earlier, Riddler wakes from a temporary blackout after Catwoman kicked him in the back of the head. Where the blank is the blanking bomb? He sees Nori Espinosa, the government agent who was supposed to bring the money to buy the eye. The blanking bird is flying blank higher than I can see it. He also sees the pistol on the ground Nori brought to the meeting and the suitcase without money. He does what Riddler does and puts together the pieces and sees that he was betrayed by both women. Some blanking better find me the blank or else I'm going to do to blank to their blank. He picks up the gun. Why in the name of blank are any of you blanking not telling me what the blank is blanking happening? He points the gun at the back of her head. I mean this sincerely, and I seriously blank all of you blank. Bang! Oh no. 78 seconds later, and 60 feet above, Batman watches the carnage, the hundreds fighting back and forth, the gunshots and the blood. While balancing 2 men on his shoulders, with one hand, he uses the other to empty his belt of knockout gas pellets. He carries at least 150 at all times. He waits until he is 35 feet above the park, close enough that the pellets will not be caught in the wind, and he scatters them into the field below. 8 seconds earlier, the Catwoman strikes at the help and misses. My word, woman, that's sensational. I see remnants of Vic Sage and touch of Lady Shiva just in the angle of the elbow there. But most of it defies classification. The best thing I can do is say it's her next attempt does not. Savage. As she roars and prepares to leap, she does not notice the small pellets falling through the air behind her. Roar. 9 minutes later, the screams have stopped and the gas has spread. Hundreds of men and women lying still in the park, some sleeping from the gas, many dead from their wounds. Batman goes from person to person, helping whomever he can. He saves a few, but not many. Later, at 5:51 a.m., the injured have been cleared from the park. Catwoman, Riddler, Penguin, and the help are all gone, as is the Eye. All that's left are the dead and Batman. 8 months later, on November 7th at 3:14 p.m. at Nat's Pawn and Rent, Nat Yellen talks to a customer. Yeah, I don't know. I want to be honest with you. That's always my policy. I tried to research it, but I didn't get anywhere. I bought it off a stewardess who got it from a guy on her flight. It looks old and I paid a good price for it, so that price is set there because I got to make my money back. So it's kind of buy it at your own risk. Maybe it's something, maybe it's junk. You never know, right? Vera Engleton examines the prize. Who cares about the price? I got plenty of money and I like it. It's pretty. I'll take it. Well, see, there it is. That's what I say, right? Everything's worth what someone's willing to pay. 6.5 months earlier at 5:32 a.m., I check my watch. I cannot help but notice that it has lost a second. At the recent travel running from the country to that, avoiding his capture, something must have gotten jostled along the way. It is unexpected. It is a betrayal after all this time. Were we not true companions? Did we not conspire together? And now, where are we now? The glass cuts into my hand, and Batman finally arrives. A month and a half earlier, on March 8th at 5 p.m. at the Iceberg Lounge, the Penguin raises a martini to his lips. Do you know how the Arctic skewed feeds its dozen? It doesn't hunt or scavenge. It waits for other birds to do the work. Then it dives at them until they drop what they've been worked so hard to earn, and the little bastard picks up the scrap as it falls from the sky, We think we live in a time of eagles. No, it is the age of the skew. Boom, and he's knocked out. Clunk. There. This is where Batman finds him. Little more than a month later, on April 11th at 2:29 p.m., Nori Espinosa continues her physical therapy. Blah, 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 blah. The doctors are astounded at her progress. They have never seen anyone recover from a head wound with such alacrity. Alacrity? They wonder what is driving her. They speculate it is anger and something, but it is difficult to be sure. The brain injury has warped her linguistic capacity. Her words are limited to a specific and rather blue vocabulary. She is unable to offer explanation. So much so that some of the orderlies have started to refer to her as Agent blah blah. Blah, blah, blah. The doctors have observed that oddly there is one word she seems to speak that falls outside a typical speech pattern. Batman. Blah, blah, Batman. Blah, blah, Batman. A few days earlier, April 8th at 1:43 a.m. on the rooftop in the Casbah, the Morocco Riddler and Catwoman reunite. You invited me here. You go first. You betrayed me. Perhaps you might lead the discussion. May I suggest something that starts, riddle me this, who has two thumbs and wants to apologize for everything she's done. Like you weren't about to stab me every time I turned around? It was the way it was. It went the way it had to go. You're only loyal to puzzles. I like cats. We're both blanking insane. Now, are we really going to just stand here and judge each other while the Batman chases us around the world a few more times? Or maybe we figure out a way to, I don't know, solve this thing and get free and back to Gotham. Isn't that what you do, don't you? Selina, darling? He's here. What? At 1:44 a.m., Batman joins them. It's done for both of you. You left Batman blanking clues to our meeting to discuss how we're going to help each other get away from Batman? Absolutely. Real easy ones, too, like what has two ears, a tail, and shouldn't have kicked me in the blanking head? Huh? I'm going to tear the tongue out of your blanking mouth. Catwoman! More than a week later, on April 17th, below the palace of Ra's al Ghul, Batman seeks advice on the whereabouts of the help. Tragically, I have nothing for you, Detective. He and I have not spoken in many years. All I can tell you is that he was better than you. And if you can't find him now, to the point where you're desperate enough to come to me, perhaps he's still better than you. Knowing him, he's probably finally retired, decided to stop helping. That is the difference between the two of you. It's why you are the heir and he is not. The help was a transcendent student calculating exact, strong, skill, brilliant. But you're blanking crazy. Clang. I could have kept it with me or on me, or I could have thrown it into the snow, in the ocean. I could have just lost it. Instead, I hid it in the bank far enough to say I didn't have it, but not far enough to say I didn't need it. I couldn't hold the world, but I could let it go. Couldn't let it go. 4 days later, today, Batman takes his seat next to me in front of the Parthenon. This plan wasn't them. They couldn't have done this. They set their own traps. No, I knew it was you right from the beginning, just like you must have known right from the beginning we'd both end up here. It's hard having conversations when everything is so predictable. It's like running away from someone destined to catch you. 137 people are dead. For what? So you could hold the eye of God? Hold the world for a damn month? Is that all this is? Is that the game we played? No, I never held the world. On what will be my May 3rd, 404 BC at 1:23 a.m., the high priestess of Athens sits in the inner sanctum of a Parthenon. Here, where generations of women have worshipped, her city, which rules the world, not just for today, but in the minds of all people, for all years, has finally fallen. And she has been tasked with providing a token of defeat, the eye of the god who founded the protected and the sacred land, the eye of Athena. On the floor of the temple lies the mask of an actor who played King Pentheus of Thebes in a play by the late Euripides. In her hand, she holds a knife, used to sacrifice animals on the altar. Used to answer the question common to all people of all time: who will rule? The priestess strikes down on the mask, the knife hitting the king's stone eye. Athena looks on. Nearly 2,500 years later, 32 feet from that same spot, I sit next to Batman and hold out my arm. I owe you no explanations, and I offer none. I open my hand. The eye was yours. My watch falls. Then it was theirs. My watch breaks. Then it was mine. Time stops. Now it is lost. 137 are dead, and I am surrendered. It is surrendered. What more is there to know? 28 seconds later, 5:37 a.m. on April 21, I talk of a tragedy. Do you know that because by Euripides I am reminded of it? I think it fine. It understands, though we rule and ravage. One day our eyes will clear, and we will know we have sinned, and we shall be punished. It is our head that is skewered on the stick. And tell of time, what gifts for the bears, what griefs, wonders in the winding. Batman hits him, crack, and the chase is ended. Boom. 4 minutes earlier, on another continent, Riddler and Catwoman sit in their cells at Arkham Asylum. At that moment, Riddler, as is his wont, solves the entire puzzle, but his answer inevitably is not heard by anyone who would care. Meow, meow, meow. What does everyone love more than life, but fear more than death? What does the poorest man have in abundance, but the richest man desperately need? What does the cheap man spend and the frivolous man save? What do we take with us to the graves? What does anyone gain or lose from reading a story? What does it mean, day after day of struggle, endless struggle, going forward and coming back, getting so near to and being too far, escaping and being trapped, escaping and chasing after it, almost always chasing after it, and solving it? You solve it, and what? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it solve? What did we solve? Nothing, 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 nothing. Meow. A month before, on March 8th at 3:19 p.m., over the Atlantic, Laura Campbell pours a cup of coffee. Cream or sugar, Mr. Smith? Black, thank you. Here you go. So come on. You've been staring at that little marble since we took off. I have to ask, what is it? Oh, it's nothing. Just something to help me pass the time. Fiend. They pass the time. All righty. That was Batman Killing Time, number 6 of 6 by Tom King and David Marquez. Now, don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and leave me a comment, okay? Tell me what you thought about it. And as Papa, Batman, the Riddler, always say...
That was easy.
Until next time, Papa is out.